What's up, guys? It is I, once again, Yusuf Al Saned, and it's been quite a while, guys and gals, since my review of Zootopia, but today I want to review the 2015 French drama Journal d'une femme du Chambre, which is also known in English translation as Diary of a Chambermaid. And this movie stars Léa Seydoux and Vincent Lindon, and also is directed by veteran French filmmaker Benoit Jacquot, and co-written by both he and Helene Zimmer. And the only other film by Benoit Jacquot I have seen is Farewell My Queen, which also stars Léa Seydoux, who is one of my all-time favorite actresses. And this movie right here, Diary of a Chambermaid, it tells the story of a young woman named Celestine, who is one of many women looking for a job as a maid. And Celestine is offered a job to work for a an older married couple in the countryside of Paris. And Celestine insists on taking on the job, but her employer she tells Celestine that she's not fit for the job because, as intelligent and reserved and very independent she is still very volatile and still very prone to mood swings, and it's also a woman known for her attitude or her behavior, she puts it. But Celestine insists on taking the job, to which her employer allows her to do so. And Celestine goes over to the countryside to work for the older married couple, who are Madame and Monsieur Lanlaire. And Madame Lanlaire is a very forthright, demanding, a kind of arrogant woman who demands a lot from Celestine. And her husband, Monsieur Lanlaire, is a man who's quite a fiend. I mean, in this movie, he multiple times in the movie, he tries to get onto Celestine and trying to seduce her, but she never falls for his trap. Celestine also meets two other workers in Madame and Monsieur Lanlaire's household. They are Mr. Joseph, played by Vincent Lindon, and a young chambermaid like Celestine named Marianne. And Mr. Joseph is a very quiet, very shy, and a very enigmatic man who we don't know much about, and Celestine starts to gain an interest in him, and her interest turns into affection, and that affection turns to obsession, because the more Celestine and Mr. Joseph hang out with each other, they start to have this tension between them that becomes very, very romantic and more than just friendship. Especially when Celestine is being mistreated by the Madame, and she's being groped basically by the Monsieur Lanlaire, and it's very tough for her, especially where she works in Paris for all her life, and coming to the countryside, work is a very daily thing, and she can't keep up with the Madame's request, especially the fact that she has a lot going on in her life with her mother and a lot of other things that's happening. And there's something about Vincent Lindon's character, Mr. Joseph, that is kind of surprising, because I thought of him as being this quiet, reserved man who has a troubled past, but there's something about him that feels off and feels totally, I don't know, something that just feels not right about him. And this movie, guys, I really was so interested in watching this movie because I love Léa Seydoux, and I love Benoit Jacquot's Farewell My Queen, and this movie, its story is it really captured my attention, because it's a melodrama for sure, but it's such a brilliant melodrama, and especially the way it's directed and the way it's pulled off and performed by the actors, especially Léa Seydoux, who's outstanding. Léa Seydoux is one of my favorite actresses of all time. I really love her in movies like Blue's the Warmest Color, Farewell My Queen, the Mission Impossible, Ghost Protocol. I really do love her as an actress. Both Léa Seydoux and Vincent Lindon have great chemistry in the movie. There are times that you feel kind of uncomfortable uncomfortable, especially when you started to learn more about Mr. Joseph. But as the movie goes on, you do feel for them, and some people might not like what they're doing in the film, but the thing that really got me engaged with this pair is the fact that everyone they work for, especially Léa Seydoux, having to work for Madame and Monsieur Lanlaire, who are not the most decent of people, and there are so many guys in the film who try to get on with Léa, and I just don't like it, guys. I mean, what they try to do, I mean, every time she meets a man, she's always objectified sexually, and she's always the object of affection for any man she encounters, and every woman she meets are basically mistreating her as much, and it's hard to watch at times, but this film is so well written. The visuals is so gorgeous, guys. This movie is very well lit and very well shot. I love every shot composition in this film. The writing is so good once again. The acting is so great, especially by Léa Seydoux and Vincent Lindon. Diary of a Chambermaid is one of those movies that's not for everyone, but for me personally, I love it, and I highly recommend you guys watch it. And if you want to see more from me, then click the subscribe button down below and check out my other channel where I talk about games and do gaming videos and let's plays. I'll put the link for that down below in the description box. Until next time, guys, peace out, take care, adios amigos, au revoir, and sayonara.